but how Trek influences people in different ways, it comes out in all these diverse and beautiful ways. And again, it doesn't have to be in engineering, which I wanted to be Geordie LaForge, that's why I did get a computer science degree. But, I decided to do something else, and I'm seeing all this diversity here on this panel and within the crowd. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful, precious thing that needs to be preserved, I think.
Thank you, Efaon. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Hi everybody, I'm Phil Morgenthaler. I'm the fleet admiral for a club called Star Trek The Fleet. Some of the stuff that we've been doing, certainly the costuming and the fandom stuff, which is all the fun stuff that we've got our members going on, but the third part has been charity. So we've had a lot of different interactions with like the Nichelle Nichols Foundation, with American Cancer Society. Here in Las Vegas, our two chapters do the Just One Project for food insecurity, and in Los Angeles we're working with My Friend's House for food insecurity also. So there's a lot of different charities we've been working with, which help to that advocacy. However, one of the things that I think is a bigger thing for us is internally. Not a year goes by or a month goes by, I don't hear that a new member has entered and said, I found my people, and I found the people I can be myself with. And we've heard stories about how just having the community has saved their life. They're right on the edge. So having Star Trek as that catalyst to connect with people has always been a big thing for me. And I guess want to thank you folks, because I'm hearing your stories also. And I talked to John the other night too, and I'm hearing all this, and I'm like, this is great. This is wonderful stuff. So. My heart was really warmed by hearing this today, so thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, make sure to come up and connect with us. We've got contact and stuff. We've actually looked up Starfleet online, so we were like, oh, this is like another one of these organizations that's doing this kind of stuff that we're trying to map out when we've been talking about.
Specifically, Star Trek: The Fleet.
There's
a lot of us. Yes. There's a lot of us close.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think we only have maybe time for one or two more, and then we're going to wrap up, unfortunately.
I should be real quick. I just want to thank you so much. Great panel, and I like to think if Gene was here, he'd be in this room right now.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Wow, I hope so.
My question is, was it hard to get this panel on the schedule? And second part is, why isn't it across the hall?
That's a
All the
great
talent
question.
here.
William Shatner's across the hall.
I would like to jump in and say that one of the things, because I know we don't have a ton of time, I also wanted to kind of nakedly plug Trek Talks 3.
Yes, thank you.
Which will hopefully be taking place in January if the strike ends. We're obviously not going to ask any of the participants to promote while the strike is going on, so that date may change. One of the things that to me is important about that event, above and beyond the fact it supports the Hollywood Food Coalition, which I won't talk about, I think most people are aware of the work I do for that organization, is that it really brings a lot of people who are, quote, celebrities in Star Trek into a mutual awareness of this effort. That is a long, slow cook. I think the community connectivity that begins to elide the line between, quote, celebrity and fan, that brings us all into the same stew pot when it comes to helping each other promote and serve, is something that we have, as a community, the ability to do more of, and that's one of the things I hope this kind of helps to do. And I wanted to make one last point, and then I'll turn it back over to you guys. I always like to make sure that people know, I think it's really important when you're talking to folks about what it is they do, to acknowledge, again, most people are doing stuff. Most people have something they're passionate about or they care about, but in the off chance that you don't, I really think that it's important to figure out ways to do something in your physical community too, in the town where you live. And here's one simple thing that I think is really effective. If you made a list of your 20 best friends and called them and said, hey, next week or the following week, I'd like to swing by and pick up a bag of groceries or a bag of toys or a bag of books or a bag of clothing, and I'd like to drop that off at a nearby shelter or facility. you'd be surprised at what the response is, and it begins to create a network of giving. I really believe that coalition building is an imperative for all of us, and building a coalition does not have to be a heady intellectual thing. It has to be a community-based thing that you do with your friends and loved ones. Those 20 people who donated a bag of groceries, ask them the next time you do it, a month later, to include 20 of their friends on the list. And then a month later, ask those people to include 20 of their friends. You won't get everybody, but it's how you metastasize generosity in a community. And I think the act of metastasizing generosity is what we are, to your point, talking about when we're talking about building power. The power of generosity is the power that fights the power of greed. So that's my...
Okay. I think we're being played off. I can hear the band. But thank you all so much for coming. We really appreciate it. So 2 touch points then to follow up with this. Number 1, look out for Trek Talks 3. It's kind of the big Trektivism flagship event right now. And then in terms of the spin-off from that going on, Trektivism.org, which you'll find out more information and updates about the podcast and sort of where this is growing to. I was about to say ergonomically, but I meant organically and all this. Thanks to all the panelists who are on. Big round of applause for everybody. And big round of applause for all of you and also the amazing work that you're doing on out there. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Get home safely. Live long and prosper.
C'est quoi?